Hello everybody, this is Machiavelli, and today we're going to be building my survival-friendly moss farm. So I got a request to do a tutorial on it, so I figured we could throw one together really quick. This farm is designed more for usability and ease of use than it is bone meal production, although it does produce a good amount of bone meal for you to use. That's how the farm works. You can see the redstone is very simple behind it. Doesn't generate a lot of lag, and it also gives you the option to store whatever items you would like to keep. So you can use this to farm flowering azalea or moss carpets if you wanted. It gives you some options on that aspect of things. And as you see, it's going to create bone meal here and fuel itself, and eventually our bone meal is going to continue into our bone meal storage. And best of all, it's all very simple and yeah, very easy to build. So we should be able to get to a tutorial pretty quickly. Alrighty, so everything we need for this build is going to be in this chest. Ice is kind of optional, but it helps quite a bit with moving items around. You need some building blocks. You're going to want to create a water source nearby, and you're going to need at least 8 buckets of water. So you'll need 8 actual buckets to put in the, or sorry, 7 to put in the dispensers. You'll need a few buckets of lava, 18 pistons. You need about a stack of glass. You might want a bit more of that. Glass is also, you don't need to use glass. I just prefer you can just use building blocks. You're going to need some stone. We're going to start with our platform, and I usually build that first. Some repeaters, some slime, about 25 obsidian, some hoppers, some chests, a few observers. You're going to need 2 sticky pistons, not 1, a couple redstone blocks, 7 target blocks, some redstone torches, a sign, a dropper, 8 levers, 1 soul sand, 1 moss block, 7 composters, some item frames, 8 dispensers, and some comparators. And that should be pretty well everything. You might need a little bit more, a little bit less of something. Oh wow, there's no redstone dust in there. Also going to need some redstone dust. And about a stack should be fine. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to start up a bit because I don't have a lot of room to go down. But we're just going to start with our stone generation platform. So what we're going to do is take a piece of stone just like that, and we're going to build that out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to build out both these sides 3. 1, 2, and 3. And 1, and 2, and 3. And this is going to be the area where our moss is being generated on. So you should have a center block, and it should extend 1, 2, 3 on each side. So you have a 7 by 7 stone square, just like so. Now, on 2 sides, we're going to extend this one more, just like that, and just like that. And then on the back side here, we're going to come in the middle and extend this one, just like that. Then this can get filled with a building block. This can get filled with a building block. And this side is going to get ice. Just like that. That's kind of unnecessary. That can be a block, and that can be a block. And then we can fill this in. And we can take our dispensers, and those are going to go right here. And there should be 7 of them. Alright, next we're going to build our actual stone generators, I should say. So we're going to come to these stone sections, and we're going to go out 1, 2, 3. And we're just going to build that across. just like so. So you should have 2 blocks in between here. And that is how that should look. Now we can take pistons and place them on all of these. And all of those. And these can get built out with glass. Just like that. Just like so. Now we can take a building block and we're going to cover the entire bottom of this platform. And that should leave you with something like so. So what we have basically here is a 7x7, dispensers across the back, ice across the front, and we have room for our stone generators on our 3 sides. So now we may as well just finish off our stone gen. What we're going to do is place water inside all these pistons. If you were playing on Java, you can still do this design. It's just going to be a little bit slower, and your stone generators are going to have to be a little bit different. Once you place water in there, this can get built up with glass. And we can take lava and go one right there, make sure it's in the middle, and one right there. Same thing, make sure it's in the middle. Now we can place a row of solid blocks across this, and I like to use glass here, and here, and we can also cover up our lava, just like so. Then we can come across the back, and what we're going to do is connect these. Just like so. This is going to get a repeater. This is going to get a repeater. Now it's time to do a little bit of redstone stuff. So we're going to come in here, and I'm pretty sure that's how I built that last time. Should probably double check that's in the right spot. Yes. So that's how that should look. And what we're going to do is take a couple hoppers, and we're going to go here, here, and where did that one go? We're going to make sure those two are pointed into each other. And then we can take a couple comparators. Well, I guess we need more sticky pistons. I guess we need 4 sticky pistons. If you use sticky pistons up here, you can get away with using regular pistons as well, because we're playing on bedrock. And what we're going to do is just place pistons facing forward, just like so. This is going to get a block up. It's going to get a torch, a block, a repeater. That is going to go into a block with a torch, and a block, and a torch. And that's how that should look. Now we take a redstone block, and it's going to go there. We're going to stick 3 items in here. And we're going to throw a lever right there. So you should have this hopper clock. These blocks are unnecessary. Torch here. And this torch. These should be opposite. That one should be off. This one should be on. Now we can put redstone dust across the back of all this. Just like so. Now we're going to do a little pulse counter. So what we're going to do is come off this corner, and this is just our starting point right here. And you want to make a little square of hoppers, and then make sure you delete that first one, and make sure you have them all pointed into each other, except this is actually going to be lower. So this will be your first hopper, and you just want to make sure we're in a nice circle here. So they should all be going around into one another. And then we can take dust and place it on top of those 3, just like so. And then we're going to take a couple blocks, just like that, and go comparator, comparator. This is going to be the block here and here. Alrighty, from this comparator on the back side, what we're going to do is put a piston right here. That block isn't necessary. I'm going to take a temporary block and an observer, and then get rid of that temporary block. A repeater is going to go right there. And then we're going to take a redstone dust and go right there. And then place that on 4 ticks, just like so. Now, coming under here, we're going to take our sticky piston, and that's going to go right there. And then these 3 can get removed, and you're going to want to replace those with obsidian, just like so. And what we're going to do is take our slimes and go 1, 2, and a redstone block, just like that. Now, coming underneath here, we're going to want to find our exact middle. And then on one of these sides, I do it on this side, we're going to have a piston. That goes right there. A block underneath. We place our moss block on that block like so. A temporary block. And we're going to take one more dispenser and we're going to place it right there. Just like so. Then we can put a block here and a block there. Just of that shape. And we're going to take repeaters and go into both of those. This lower one will stay on default and throw that guy on 4 ticks. Now we can build this kind of over down 1. That should be adjacent, and there should be a 1 block gap. And we can build this over and build that over 1. And we're going to take redstone dust and just go here. And that is pretty well it for redstone. Last thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and put 1 item in here, just like so. And that should all be functional. Now, coming to our front side here, what we're going to do is take hoppers, and we're just going to build another circle of hoppers across the front of this. And then make sure they are all linked together. So it should all be going in a circle, just like that last one. And then we can place solid blocks here. And this can get extended. Just keep that consistent. And that is how that should look. Now coming underneath, we're going to point hoppers into all these going forward. And we're going to take a block, and we're going to go behind, just like that. And this is where our comparators are going to go. Just like so. These are going to be going into a solid block. Then we can take some glass. And we're going to build the shape. And we're going to take our target blocks. I said, wow, this game. So target blocks. We're going to go here. And come right across. These will all get redstone torches. These can get built across. And they will all get redstone dust on them. And same thing here. Redstone dust. Now, those hoppers are going to need to go into some chests. I'm going to get rid of here, that won't affect anything. So, we're going to come down 1 and over 1, just like that. And we're going to build these across. Just like so. And it might be easier to not have these for right now. Hoppers need to go into the top here. Just like that. And then what we're going to do is build this shape. And we're going to extend these all the way across. Just like so. Then we're going to have a 1 block gap. And this is where our composter is going to go. Wow. Now we're going to take some hoppers, and we're going to point them all forward into those chests. Make sure they're pointed forward, not down. Same thing over here. And then into all these composters. And then we're going to put solid blocks on these. This is where your levers are going to go. And item frames. And we're going to need to program these hoppers. So it might be easier if you complete the farm first and then do this. I kind of have the ability to just do it simply because I'm in creative. But if you need to gather the items, you can turn the farm on, let it run a little bit, make sure that these aren't set to compost once your build is complete, and then you can program these after. What we're going to do is take some moss blocks. And what we're going to do is on the middle three, that's where most of our drops are going to be going. We're going to program these three to moss. We might close all this first. So yeah, middle three, make sure you're selecting that back row of hoppers and not this top one. And we're going to program these. If my controller would ever work properly. And that should take 45 blocks in total to make that. And then we'll take our Azalea. And we'll program these two. And last but not least, we need some seeds. And some moss carpets. And we're going to program these last two with those. I am so done with this controller. Then we come down here and just make these look nice. Just like that. Now, take our building blocks, glass, hoppers, ice, soul sand, observer, sticky piston. Should be about it. Now, oh, we need a dropper. Make sure this is a dropper and not a dispenser. And that dropper is going to go right there. And we can take hoppers and go all the way into that one, all the way across. Make sure they're all pointing forward. Just like that. You can put a solid block on there. This is going to get a, I don't know why I got rid of sticky piston, but this is going to be a comparator into a block. A sticky piston right there. Some redstone dust on top. An observer facing up. Temporary block. And observer facing down. And then that one can go away. So that is how that should look. And if we put anything in here, it should all get dispensed. Or dropped, I should say. Now we're going to throw a hopper right into that dispenser there. And these are going to get ice. Right in front of this is going to get a soul sand. And then this gets built up with glass. And while you're building this, it's probably a good idea to fill it with water. And make sure you have a water source on every single level so your bubbles are coming all the way up. And now we can kind of wrap the back of this tube a little bit. We're going to build our bone meal storage, which is going to go here. You can kind of build this however big you like. I'm going to extend it down extra. I'm going to use that same pattern. And we're going to put hoppers here. And that is how that should look. One more hopper there. Ice here. And this gets built around just like so. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can get away with one more. So, we're going to take our sign and we're going to put it right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I'm going to flow everything into that hopper. Now, these can get built up a little bit. Water is going to go right there. That should go right to that sign. We're going to place water right in front of that sign. It'll be easier to see from this side. And that is how that should look. And I think that is pretty much it. Our stone gens are completed. That is completed. This can get kind of capped in so our bone meal doesn't go anywhere. But that should pretty well be the farm able to run. The last thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need a little bit of bone meal to get it started. We are going to set this to harvest everything for the time being. Alrighty guys, a couple things just for the end here. We're going to want to put obsidian, 1, 2, 3, and this will stop anything from getting pushed out. We're going to need to put redstone dust across here. Redstone dust across here. Redstone dust across here. And you're going to want to add water to all of your dispensers, like I did. Now, when your farm is off, and this water should also be off, but say this water was on, when your farm is off, that is bad, so just put a torch here and get rid of it, if that ever happens for whatever reason. And that should pretty well be the farm good to go. So as you can see here, it's going to crush everything, bone meal, and then flush everything into our collection system. Our collection system is then going to sort stuff, as you can see there. And everything is getting composted, except we've got some azalea saving up here. Everything else is getting composted and converted into bone meal, and fueling our dispenser. After our dispenser is full, everything is going to come across here, and some make it across the hopper. It doesn't pick them all up, but once that's full, all of our bone meal is going to come and get stored here. And that is pretty well it, guys. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you find it useful, and it gets you some good azalea and bone meal drops. I shall catch you guys on the next one.